You don't need more downloads. You just need this one shift that will turn your podcast into a high ticket client magnet. I'm Juli Baranik, founder of Podvantage. And you've been told that more downloads, more listeners, and more reach will give you more clients. And that's a lie. That's what most people chase. And they really just chase the vanity metrics. But when you're a leader, an expert, and someone who your work just changes people's lives, you're putting out incredible episodes, showing up consistently, but high ticket clients still aren't coming in. And more listeners don't automatically equal more business. It's not about attracting the masses, it's about attracting the right people, those that you would love to have 1,000 more of. And that's what your podcast should truly be focused on and who you should be speaking to. When you create your podcast episodes, one of the most important things is not to speak to everybody, because inevitably you're speaking to nobody. You should write your episodes, speak your episodes to one person, to that dream person that you want 1,000 more of. And I'll give you the secret that the best way to do that is to actually invite them to be a guest on your show. When you change how you use your podcast to just spewing out content or creating content and instead use it as a relationship building tool, your podcast will do amazing things for you and it will bring in the highest value clients because you're not just speaking to everybody, right? You're actually using it to build that genuine relationship. And you don't need a million listeners. You just need the right listeners. So when you're inviting your dream client to be a guest on your show and you're speaking directly to that dream person in all of your episodes, your audience will ultimately be comprised of your dream clients. The people who ultimately want to do business with you, who recognize your expertise, who want more of your genius, that's who your audience is going to be. And that's who you will be building a relationship with week after week after week. And this is so incredibly powerful because your dream clients aren't just passively scrolling for content. They want solutions and they want the genius that you have. So when you're just chasing big numbers with your podcast, it dilutes your message and it makes it harder to connect with your perfect fit clients. Whereas if you're micro laser focused on speaking directly to that person, right? I know it sounds silly, but when you speak to that one person, your audience becomes filled with that person, right? Those are the people you attract and you repel people that don't align with your message. So when you're building your audience, build it for that person that you can help better than anybody else in the world, that you get amazing results for. Like that's the person you want to speak to. And that's the person that you would want to clone. So this is the way that you do it is through your podcast. So instead of chasing downloads, shift your strategy to attract and convert your dream client. Speak directly to your dream client. Picture that individual that you would love to have 1,000 more of. Every episode should feel like you're having a conversation with them, addressing their specific desires, their struggles, their goals. Like you're speaking directly to their head, to their thoughts. They're like, how did you know that? Like, how did you know that that's what I was going through? That's what gets them to react to you and positions you as the expert. Invite them. Number two, invite them to be guests on your podcast. Reach out to people that you would love to have to work with, right? To have as your clients. People love, 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 as you know, to be on podcasts. So when they get an invitation from you to be a guest on your podcast, people will jump through hoops to get on your podcast. So why not use that as a strategic invitation to build a relationship with that person? This is not a bait and switch strategy at all. Okay. There are people out there that do that. That's not what this is. This is being intentional and strategic of who you invite to be on your show and using it to build a genuine relationship with them and doing it as a give for them, where everything you're doing is a give and to help them to build a relationship. Everything is to build a relationship. Okay. So use your podcast instead of just speaking to the masses, use it as a relationship building machine, frankly, that you can invite your dream clients to be a guest on your show and build that relationship. And thirdly, your podcast isn't just content, it's a conversion tool. Design every episode to lead seamlessly to the next step, whether it's a discovery call, a VIP offer, a direct invitation to work with you. Structure your episodes so that it's a natural flow at the end of the episode or wherever it is. You can also do ads in the middle of your episode that it's driving to your call to action. Take advantage of those opportunities to further that relationship with your listeners so that they know the next step in working with you because they've experienced your genius. They want more of what you have. Podcasting is a very intimate connection with people where they're listening to you when they're out running, when they're driving, when they're one on one. Like you have a connection with their thoughts. And usually they're pretty focused on what it is that you're saying. So take advantage of that in a good way so that they know the next step to connect with you. Make it super easy to work with you. Like there's so many barriers that we often put up in our businesses with working with our clients. Take them all away. Make it as easy as possible to work with you, and you'll be amazed at the results. And I discovered all of this kind of by accident when I started my podcast. And the light bulb went off for me when I first started my podcast, where I was actually invited to be a guest on somebody's show as the queen of automation, because that's my sweet spot and my expertise. And I fell in love with the format and really just wanted to do more of it. So I put out an invitation on Facebook and said, hey, this is specifically who I want to talk to. Who would you be interested in being on my show? And I expected nothing. I went to bed. That was it. And I really, truly expected nothing. And the next day I woke up and I had over 100 people that wanted to be a guest on my show. And I realized this is massive. Like the potential in podcasting is absolutely massive. And I knew I had to figure it out. And as I continued through those steps, I invited my dream client to be a guest on my show. And actually, the first interview that I did, I ended up converting her into a high ticket client. So this works. And I've done this with countless of my own clients, teaching them how to do the same and built out a beautiful automated system that makes this incredibly easy for you. So it's really, really powerful. I ended up ramping up my podcast ridiculously, where I was doing as many as 3 episodes a day. And I would not recommend that, but that's what the system that I built, the VIP podcast launch, is meant for, is having as high a volume as you want, but teaching you how to build that relationship with your dream clients in a way that's easy, that's seamless, it's white glove, it's incredibly easy that it just takes so much off of your plate. And this gives you a way to convert high ticket clients with your podcast without needing to go viral or chase influencer stats. So if you're ready to turn your podcast into a powerful sales tool, book a call with me for the VIP podcast launch, and let's make your next episode your most profitable one yet by speaking directly to the people that you'd love to have 1,000 more of. Remember, your next dream client is just one episode away.